Hey, aloha everyone. I'm here at the ocean. It's kind of an intense day for me. Nothing really externally happening, but a lot of internal stuff. So I come sit on the cliffs here and feel the breeze and listen to the waves. Just breathe, let it all go. Yeah, some days it works. Just sitting in a room, and other days I gotta come here, and this usually helps. So I want to share that. It's like, yeah, take time to go to the ocean. You can just go outside, listen to the birds, connect with nature during these weird times. I was guided last night, or it was 2 nights ago. I was guided with some tarot cards, and the message that came through was about making a YouTube video about greed and arrogance, like lies, deceit, trickery, how the game's played. And that's a topic I don't really want to talk about, but I'll just start talking about it, see what comes through, because a lot of it is just like channeled. I don't like to use the word channeled, but it is like a flow that comes from the stream of consciousness. And the first thing that pops in with this is just the level of like madness in a person's mind, the level of like chatter and judgment, and just this need to be and feel important or loved or honored or recognized. And so much of that is that arrogance we see in the world of, look at me, look what I can do, this is who I am. And it's really just the ego screaming for attention, screaming to be recognized as an identity here on this planet. And so that's our first clue, like when we're in that place of those thoughts, of when we question somebody that's in authority in particular, and they get upset that we're even asking a question, or not sure about what we're being told. If they're getting irritated, then that's like kind of our first clue. And if they continue to be irritated and they don't calm themselves down, that's our second clue that they're not really doing their work and they don't care. And maybe that's a little harsh. Maybe it's just a bad day for them. But it's a good indication to trust your own wisdom in those moments when that comes up. To be like, okay, right, this may not be the right information I need. I'll listen to what they have to say. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to breathe and relax. And I'm going to look this up later, or I'm going to ask someone else. And so the other one is like the greed and the needing for something, this longing for something. Like, I need something, I need money, I need to be recognized, I need to fill this hole inside of me that's just never ending. And that's something I experienced a lot with addiction. And even to this day, there's this longing for something more. You do this really great group or a workshop or breathwork ceremony, and then it's like, oh, that was amazing, now what? I need to do more. There's more that needs to be done. Or you're doing all those things and you're not making much money, and it's like, oh, I need more money. And so it kind of slides into this place of this external focus of greed and money, needing something, and the whole like intention of it gets lost. The whole idea of just helping people and what's going to be beneficial to someone, rather than what I need to feel secure. It'll never make me secure because it's outside, and I'll always need more and more of it. And that's what we're seeing in the world, is this external focus on needing control or needing more of something, needing to like convince people of something. And really that's just the ego coming up to be looked at, the shadow, that trickery, the deceit, and the adversarial ally. So a lot of this stuff serves us to point out where we ourselves are not really in our own authority. We're not really in our own self-sourcing place. And so that'll bring up these feelings of discomfort, disease, irritation, judgments. And really it's letting all that go and just breathing, coming back to a neutral place. Coming into nature is one of the most powerful places. Breathing, we're always breathing, but are we really like aware of it? And once you become aware of the breath, it starts to shift. I mean, really, people say we can control our emotions, but I don't think that's possible. Like, it's like those waves out there in front of me. I can't control that. I mean, I can't control the wind that's hitting me right now. I can control my reaction to it to a certain extent, but there's a chatter in my head that's just relentless. And it just doesn't go away sometimes. And so what I can control is my breath. I can tune into my breath. I can be aware of it. I can just watch everything else as I breathe. And there's techniques with the breath work. There's all kinds of techniques. And really that's just the distraction of the mind. It distracts us away from all that madness and focuses on one thing. So that's what mantras are too. But even that gets to be a rut thing. It just like this repetitive thing. At some point we let it go. At some point the singular focus is let go of, and then we find the focus of all, the connection with all things. And that's the place where everything can shift and change. And that's the place that I gotta constantly remember to come to before I do anything. The divine right timing. Is the feeling there to do it? Sometimes the feeling's not there, and that's okay. Sometimes another feeling's there because I'm stressed out and worried. And I just gotta let that feeling pass. Just like a storm on the ocean. I can't keep the sails unfurled. I'm a ship on the ocean with a storm. I'm just gonna chase the storm. I'm gonna make it worse. So the sails are kind of like our thoughts and our judgments about what's happening to us. It just increases it. It makes it worse. We're not gonna figure it out. We're not gonna figure out why the storm's happening. It's just a storm until we get through it. And then the answer becomes very clear, or we don't even care anymore. Like, I don't give a shit what it was. It doesn't matter now. It's over. It was just something. But when we're in it, it's fucking intense, and it sucks. And it's really hard to remember, okay, I just need to breathe and relax. But a lot of times that's all it is, you know? And that's the other thing is, like, with fear. If we're experiencing fear, that's letting us know that we need to come present in the moment. Like, it's pointing us to something. And very often we'll see that there's nothing to be afraid of in the now moment. It's just a thought or idea of the future or something that happened in the past. I mean, if there's a tiger in the room or someone standing there with a knife, yeah, it's right to be afraid, but you're gonna sense that, know that. In fact, we won't see those things if we're in our heads analyzing something from the past or worrying about a future that's not even existing right in front of us. And so a lot of that's happening in the world too. This distract people, this get them scared, so they don't really see what's happening right in front of them. You don't really notice, just like the magician with the misdirection. Look over here. Don't pay attention to this. And we all know that. And it's really kind of like an internal state at this point. It's like, what are you choosing? Are you going to choose that craziness in your head and the dancing for your attention? You need to be recognized and all these things, or are we going to choose to just let go and be this feeling of love that's deep inside, which is like terrifying for a lot of people, myself included, is to like embrace this vulnerability, to show my soft underbelly and, you know, take the hit of energy that comes, to feel what comes at me, to just let it go. And again, it's like that storm on the ocean. You just feel what comes and don't think about it. Just allow it to flow through and out. And I guess maybe I got a little off course with this, but really it was, I guess a lot of this video is just for me, just talking to myself here, that it's going to be okay, that this is all guiding us to something bigger, that the things we truly desire for the world and for ourselves and each other will happen at some point, if we can just keep letting go and breathing and trusting that we have the wisdom and the guidance deep inside, that we don't need some external thing to fill that. And yet at the same time, we can come into nature, or we can breathe, or we can meditate, or we can do yoga, or whatever that thing is. And it distracts us long enough to where our genuine self starts to emerge, and you get a big feeling, and you get that release, and the shoulders drop down. That's how you know you found it. And we just keep going back to that place. Just keep going back. finding that place inside. If you're upset or someone else is upset around you, it's okay. It's not your fault. It's just something that's happening. Okay, love you guys. Aloha.